Ladies and gentlemen, per request, we're going to go ahead and give a silver number for Dragon Age Origins by itself. Well, plus Lily in a song. So not counting Golems, not counting Witch Hunt, and of course the big one, not counting Awakening, the actual expansion. Let's compare this side by side with Baldur's Gate 3, shall we? Baldur's Gate 3 was 105 hours. Dragon Age Origins was 52. Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 got a net plus 79 to story. Dragon Age Origins got a net plus 92. Baldur's Gate 3 got a net plus 21 to gameplay. And Dragon Age Origins got a net plus 25. Baldur's Gate 3 got a 208.05, which is a very high score. Dragon Age Origins' silver number is 243.01. If we stopped right now, that would be way up there. In fact, if I could just glance at the genre sheet for a second, that would put it at the number 3 RPG we've ever reviewed, behind Mass Effect 2, and of course, Diablo 3. Now, that's cool, and awesome, and fun, and everybody loves Mario World music. But here's the thing. Now we have to determine if Awakening and Witch Hunt and Golems bring that up or down. Because there's this really unfortunate tendency for DLCs to bring the score down and not up. Let's see, shall we? So, here's the first problem with Awakening, because we're going to be starting with some negatives. I'm going to be very honest about this. Problem number 1 with Awakening. You could play the same character from Origins. Now, I know that sounds strange, but the more I've thought, and I've thought about this quite a bit, the more I think about this, the more I think this was a definitively bad decision to make. Let me explain why before you jump down my throat. I know, right? Action man. Dragon Age Origins, I hate to keep repeating this fact, was not designed with sequels in mind. Which means that in Dragon Age Origins, there's a whole lot of different permutations of characters and people. You can play a huge gradient of characters, and your party setup and their opinions on you and themselves can be a huge gradient. It is possible to end Dragon Age Origins with, I think, 2 party members still alive. You can kill or drive off virtually every party member throughout the course of the game. And in some cases, it's not even that hard to do. Now, this was on purpose. They wanted Origins to stand in a vacuum. That's why there's so many permutations in Origins. But then it was successful. And then they were told, alright, go make a sequel. And they're like, So, here's the problem. Player choice is great, and I obviously stand by that. But player choice usually should exist in a vacuum. You shouldn't... I know this is going to sound so bizarre for someone who has railed about this for quite a while, but you shouldn't let the player have tons and tons of choices and then do an immediate sequel to that story. Because that gets more and more impossible the further in you get. Looking at you, Mass Effect. And the more states you have to consider existing, the less... well, the less you can do with the story, to be very blunt about it. Let me try to explain this way. There's only so many plots that everybody is going to get involved in, right? In Dragon Age Origins, they managed it because the Darkspawn were a universal threat. And that is the kind of threat that can work for that sort of a situation. But there's not a lot that equate to that. There are plenty of situations in which you have to really start twisting things around to get the characters onto the designated path, because this isn't D&D. We can't adapt perfectly and dynamically, right? So, you as a writer, not even kind of gameplay, which is its own animal, but just as a writer, you are more and more and more limited in what you are even capable of doing by virtue of the fact that you always have to consider the vast gradient of different types of characters that will be playing through your game. You ever wonder why Oghren is the only returning character in Awakening? It's because he is the least likely to die character in Origins. It takes substantial work and effort in order to kill off Oghren. You can do it. If you do it, and he shows up here, he has a one-line dialogue about, I just passed out, but I'm fine. And that's it. Like, that's the throwaway line there. Obviously, you can kill Liliana. That's easy. You can kill Wynn. That's easy. Zevran is super easy to lose. Alistair can be executed. You know, I'm not going to go down the list. You can never recruit Sten, just on accident. You can never recruit Barkspawn. Like I said, so they had to come up with the least likely character, and that's Oghren. Okay, cool. But then, oh yeah, Liliana also comes back in Inquisition, but let's ignore that for a minute. So, they were like, and they weren't really sure where to go with that. And so they decided to do what I personally consider to be the dumbest thing they could have possibly done. They decided to go ahead and import the world state for the future. And I know that sounds so weird to say it like that, considering it's something that I tend to praise about games like this. But, again, Origins was just too dynamic. There's just too many options and too many choices and too many different ways things can go. We can have a substantial and noticeable impact on 3 countries, and an entire religious sect. And if honestly, those are just the really, really, really big things, right? Never mind, you know, being able to completely change the fate of the circle or that particular Dalish camp or whatever else, right? So, they came up with a brand new character for Dragon Age Origins Awakening, which I'm just going to call Awakening from now on, which is an Orlesian Warden, which makes perfect sense. And if you played through this before, you know what I mean when you say that the whole game is clearly written for the Orlesian Warden. It's not written for us. Every time there's a reference to the previous game, it's not only awkward, but in many cases it actively doesn't fit. I remember picking up Dragon Age Origins the second time I played through it, which is the time I liked it. By the time I played through the second time, Ultimate was out, so I went immediately from Origins into Awakening, like a few minutes gap in between. And I went from Oghren, who was like, yeah, and we're thinking about naming our kid after you, and it's great, to the Oghren in Awakening, who is, for all intents and purposes, a different character. Probably because of the fact that he doesn't know you, because you're the Orlesian Warden, and that's going to be a recurring problem throughout Awakening. That's the issue. So we will import, kind of to show this off, but yeah, there's us. Let's go ahead and do it.
With the death of the Archdemon, the Blight was defeated. But the Darkspawn did not simply disappear. Most of the Horde scattered north from Denerim towards the coastlands. And there fractured into warring tribes. The region fell into chaos as the Darkspawn emerged from hidden lairs to terrorize the countryside. As the new Warden Commander of Ferelden, it is your responsibility to rebuild the Order and deal with the lingering threat. You have come to Amaranthine to join the rest of the Grey Wardens at Vigil's Keep, once home to Arl Rendenhau, but now property of the Order. The lack of a proper welcoming party as you grow close, however, indicates that something is amiss.
What's going on? Why are there no Wardens here to greet us? Something is wrong. Quickly, Commander!
Oh yeah, there's a reason they keep calling you Commander instead of Warden, by the way. So this is the character, Evo. Do you remember me mentioning that? Her. Mahari. Mahiri. I don't remember how to pronounce it.
Time for a little cleanup. Look at this! I love it! On it. It's you or me, and it isn't going to be me.
It's okay, I've seen both, 040.
It's you, the hero of Ferelden. Oh, thank the Maker.
It's easy to review, though, 040. Because all you have to... So, I'm clearly making my point incorrectly. The story is the one with the Orlesian Warden. As you go through it, it'll be very clear and very obvious. This is the story of the Orlesian Warden. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It will occasionally then pause that to acknowledge the fact that you're the Ferelden Warden, and then it'll go right back to the story about the Orlesian Warden. So, we will, by natural default, be reviewing both simply by playing the Ferelden Warden. That's actually why we did the import rather than just starting a new one. No, I noticed that, Lothario. So, how did this happen?
I don't know. They came out of nowhere. All I heard was screams and people dying. I got out as fast as I could and ran into these... You need to help them. You need to do something.
Okay. Get yourself to safety.
Yes, my lady. Thank you, my lady.
We don't have a lot of time, Commander.
You're not just a guide, are you?
Oh, pardon me, Commander. I'd assumed proper introductions would be taken care of at the keep. My name is Myri. I was a knight in the King's service until I was recruited a month ago, but I haven't taken my joining yet. The Seneschal sent me to bring you back. I was not expecting this.
The Darkspawn launching a sneak attack is unheard of.
This isn't a blight. How could they be so organized? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly, Wandering Doll. And exactly, 040. Perhaps someone's leading them.
Other than an archdemon, you mean? Frightening thought.
Like months, I want to say. Actually, man, it has not been long. Oh yeah, I hope you like that love story with Liliana, because she's also barely going to be referenced in this. Like I said, they just kind of scooch forward in a lot of ways with this. Whatever. Who's in command here?
Varel, the Seneschal. He is the keep steward, I believe, working for the Wardens.
Where are we?
This is Vigil's keep, which once belonged to Arl Howe. Considering what he did to you and the rest of the Order, losing their lands is probably the least of his family's problems.
What did he do?
Right, let's teach these evil bastards a lesson.
So, part of the reason I mentioned Mahari, other than the fact that there's her, she also has Sir Cothrian's portrait for some reason. Oh yeah, she can level up and everything too. Check it out. She's got stats, she's got things. Look at all this. She is a real party member. Oh yeah, so the biggest thing Awakening brings is another row. We'll talk about these as we go. Give her assault over here. Make sure she's doing her thing. There we go. Cool. So, BioWare's always had a disposable character at the beginning. It's a tradition, right? We know how this works. But Mahira is probably my favorite of the starter characters. You know, just in general. This is why I brought her up earlier, actually, is because, you know, she's kind of cool, and I'm kind of with it, and I just noticed I have a different staff. That's interesting. Yeah, most of these starter characters only last for, like, a much, much shorter period of time, and are much less developed as characters. Mahiri, they do some stuff with her first. I don't know if it's because they were trying to hide the fact that she's totally dead, or if they were just trying to go ahead and, you know, make her more substantial before they kill her.
For the Warden! Let's get started.
Or Trask. Oh yeah, some of your stuff carries over, not everything. As you can see, we've got a nice sword. Duncan's sword is still with us. Some of our robes. Most of our potions, and of course all our money, which is good, because we're going to need that money. As I mentioned earlier, part of the reason I kept looting is because I know we're going to need a whole bunch of money for Awakening.
Here we go!
I mean, I agree with you, Evo. I actually mentioned that earlier, and then I got shouted down on that opinion because I didn't phrase it correctly.
Gate, sir. If you find others, send them to me.
Time for some fun. You're mine. You never had a chance.
I thought I was done for. Thank you.
Oh yeah, notice the game gives you her to start with because she's a tank. The most reliably useful character type in the entire game. Naturally, the game would start you off with a tank because it has no idea what you're playing. But this way, you're ready for combat just like that.
Somebody help me! I don't want to
Let's
die!
make this quick, shall we? Make us breath.
That's right, you can be a smuggler! You know, I was actually thinking about that. One of the ways they could have fixed the Tor problem is by making the Super Death Jedi someone who isn't us. Now, I know they would never do that, because they want you to be the Super Doom, you know, savior of the galaxy. But at the same time, it's an interesting solution to that problem, isn't it? Yeah, make Lana the hero. Make Lana the big Super Doom, you know, make her the main character. It's something that admittedly irritates me, but in a way that I understand. In a way that I even endorse, despite it irritating me. When you give the player more options, you remove those options from the writer. It's one-to-one, right? It's a zero-sum game. And so, in a lot of games, the story and the writing just kind of doesn't acknowledge that you exist, or that you have any relevance to the story, so that the player can play whatever, and the story can keep progressing. And that's the solution to that. That's the solution to that problem. And one of the ways they do that is to make someone else, someone who is not the PC, the main character of the story. I'm sure you can think of several games that pull this exact same trick. Get up.
Let's get started.
Yeah, World of Warcraft pulls this trick all over the place. FF14 does too, actually. Although it drifts in and out.
Down with you. We must fight.
I'm dead. Oh, Jesus, what happened? I wasn't even looking. No, Guild Wars 2, right at about, well, the Fire expansion, I would say, started really codifying us as, yeah, no, really, we're the main character. But Guild Wars 2 is honestly really unique in that regard. Oh, I agree, PB Good Fate, but I cannot tell you how many cutscenes pissed me off in FF14, where we're just standing there watching stuff happen because, well, we might as well not be there. And that's true. That's actually a good point, Colgrim. Guild Wars 2 pulled off this trick in part because of the fact that it removed player choice from the equation. You're the hero. That's it. Accept it. And that was their compromise. And frankly, it worked.
As you wish. We must fight.
Come on. Come on. Frickin' shrieks, I swear to God.
What's inside the keep, sir?
Exactly, PB Good Fate. Again, FF14 isn't as bad as some other games I could name, but my point is that even FF14, a game that helps, like isn't completely complicit in this problem, still has this problem. That's sort of the point I'm making. It's really common.
Let's get started.
That's
Let's get
true,
started.
Colgrim. And sometimes it works better than other times. Because I've started running into a few of those which are a little bit less well done. I don't want to get into that discussion. Anyways, point being, I find myself wondering if that wouldn't have been an interesting solution here. Rather than playing the Orlesian Warden... Oh, let me walk this back. If you decide to play yourself, maybe make someone else the main character. You know, either the Orlesian Warden, which is now their own character, completely separate from you, or just make it one of the player characters, the party member, excuse me. Now, having said that, I'm not sure which party member would really qualify here. None of them are really what I'd call main character material. So you'd have to kind of restructure and rewrite them in order to be main character material. I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking, the Rational Ginger. You could still make it playable. You could still have player choice show up, and you could actually select the options as your own mentor, but...
Unbelievable. The keep has been overwhelmed. How did the Wardens not sense the Darkspawn coming? I don't understand it.
How many Wardens are here?
Not many. A dozen, perhaps? There are other soldiers who came with them, however. For the Darkspawn to have ambushed the keep so effectively, I didn't know they were capable of such a thing.
You know what? It's funny you say that, Lo, because I was just thinking the exact same thing. Rather than kill Mahiri, make her the main character. Make the story revolve around her. We still play the Orlesian Warden, who she is, like, trying to help acclimate to the area, or the Warden Commander, who is her mentor and guide and advisor, but make the narrative beats, the plot beats, revolve around her. Instead of, well, you know, nothing.
Yes, Commander. I'll try.
Let's go to... Mahiri disapproves.
Peasant creatures!
I do believe that is her actress, yes. Yeah, we'll slot in as the win here. Oh, right, I just realized I was talking about negatives. So, gosh, where do I put this down? There's going to be several story negatives for external continuity, so I'm just going to start a line here. Don't worry, Wandering Doll. I think I can manage it. It's worth it. It's worth it to see her final cutscene.
Let's get started.
Hello, Anders. Also known as Cullen.
I didn't do it.
And honestly...
Hey, I recognize you from the circle. I know what they've been saying about me, but this, not my doing. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not broken up about them dying, to be perfectly honest. Biff there made the funniest gurgle when he went down.
But, no. Seriously. That's Anders in one cutscene. Do I know any games or stories where the main character isn't the great hero, but the shadow of the great hero? Probably. No, we're pretty clearly the main characters of Lotro, Mr. Red. We just happen to be half the main characters of Lotro. Yeah, it would have been nice to see Anders in Dragon Age 2, but it's a pity. I guess they just decided to go a different direction with it. Imperial Agent. I get your point, but again, I'm not sure that really qualifies for what Lothario is asking. Why would I do that, Colgrim? Oh. No.
I know. Most people enjoy being kicked in the head to be woken up each morning. Me, I'm just so picky. You may call me Anders, my dear lady. I am a mage and, sadly, a wanted apostate.
An apostate? At Vigil's keep?
You weren't here when we arrived. I'm sure I would have remembered such a lovely woman as yourself. We were just stopping here on our way back to the tower. Just a short rest, they said, and now they're dead. Such a shame.
I don't care. Are you a Grey Warden or not?
That's what they call someone who doesn't believe in being chained up in the tower, so yes, I suppose I am. The Templars captured me and were taking me back, and then, you know, Darkspawn attacked. Could be a sign, yes?
Right. We really don't have time to discuss this.
True. These Darkspawn don't leave much time for chit-chat, do they? Well, tell you what. I'll help you and we can discuss what comes later. Later, once all these bastards are properly put down, yes?
Sure, Anders. Come on, let's go.
This should be easy enough.
Anyway, Spartan, I don't know if you heard, it was 240-ish.
You're mine! Time for some fun!
Yeah, Oblivion sounds like a good pick. With regards to the whole you don't play the hero thing.
Quickly! Maker.
The problem is, even in games where someone else is arguably the main character, you do still usually play, like, someone of noticeable significance. Like in Final Fantasy X, for example. Tidus is still a major character in that, even if that is Yuna's story. Yeah, I've always felt that Alistair. Anders is a bit of a distension of Alistair, but on the flip side, the mage instead of the Templar. Listen, we killed a lot of dragons, Lona, okay? Oh yeah, we should probably set up Anders a little bit. Let's see. Let's make him a blood mage. That sounds like a good idea. I'll hold off on that for now. So now we have something new. Rune crafting, as well as vitality and clarity. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And of course, now we have, I already mentioned this, we have more layers to the build. So that's also cool. Notice, by the way, Anders is automatically a healer, which actually tracks for the next game as well. But I primarily bring up because the first two characters they automatically give us are Anders and a tank. Or, sorry, a healer and a tank, which, yeah. Let's see. I think I want that on him. Yeah. Unfortunately, those are level wrecked because we're going to have to go a lot higher level on this one. I want you to have a climb link too. Let's sit on the rest of that for now. That should do it for the moment.
This should be easy enough.
Oh, we're scared now. Don't come over here. Ha! It'll take more than that to kill us, beasties. Come again if you dare.
His expression. Do I ever have the urge to play Lotro? Nope. I've played Lotro. I've had my fill. I honestly don't expect I will ever play that game again. No offense to people who enjoy it, of which I know there's two. But, no. I cannot. Even if I had infinite time, I don't think I'd get back into that game. And if I didn't have infinite time, which I don't, then yeah, I'm not touching that with a 50-foot pole.
Everywhere.
Say your prayers!
Is it really that bad? No. I've played worse MMOs, and Lotro has several good things going for it. But why do you hate it so much then? Because it's a waste of my time. I want you to imagine a decent, not good, decent game that takes absolutely forever to do anything.
On it.
And that's all I need to add to that. Honestly, yeah, Spartan. It's Lotro and WoW Vanilla share a lot of DNA. What's funny is Lotro invented a lot of great concepts that MMOs have since taken and run with. In fact, it was kind of a joke. Hi, Ogren. It was kind of a joke for a while there that virtually every major innovation that WoW had was actually innovated by Lotro. WoW just did it better. Now, that's not true, but there are quite a few things that Lotro did invent.
Shall we? Is that all you got? How about you?
Like, the very concept of transmog, for example. You know, having cosmetic-only armor that you could place over your existing armor. I think, you know, everybody does it now. Guild Wars 2 does that, FF14 does that, WoW does that. That all goes back to Lotro.
For the Warden!
Aha! There you are! When these darkspawn showed up, I thought, just you wait until the new commander gets here and you'll all be spitting teeth out of your arses. Followed the screaming, and sure enough, here you are. Good on ya!
Ogren, it's me. You don't have to act like I'm some Orlesian commander.
Doubting your eyes, huh? I get like that after the 5th bottle or so. Came here thinking I might try my hand at becoming a bona fide Grey Warden.
He was here when I left. I can't believe the Wardens didn't kick him out.
Well, hey, if it isn't the recruit with a great rack.
Yes, a prize for the Wardens, to be sure.
I know. Too good to be true, right? Hey, who's the mage? Boyfriend? Should I leave you two alone?
Wow, a dwarf that smells like a brewery. You never see that anywhere.
A mage comedian. Thought those normally died young.
Let's get this out of the way. Ogren is Flanderized in Awakening. Ogren was an interesting and well-developed character. He's not the best character in Origins, but there were layers to him. There was depth to him. We just didn't see it all that often because he was usually too busy being drunk or criminally depressed to the point of probably being suicidal. And then every now and again, he would be himself. And he'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. In Awakening, well, all we have left is the joke. Yeah, they might as well have just made this drunk dwarf, and it would have not really changed anything. Even his relationship with What's-Her-Face, I can't remember her name, could have just been a thing for drunk dwarf. It's good to see you again, Arden.
I find that hard to believe.
As do I.
Now, let's go introduce some darkspawn
catch that?
arses to my foot. Only polite thing to do.
I deliberately took that option, which said, it's good to see you again, just to prove that the game doesn't even acknowledge that the two of you know each other. Like I said, those external continuity negatives are going to start piling up in this one. Varric? I wouldn't say Varric is the drunk dwarf, although, honestly, Varric being an awakening would be awesome, but what's really funny... what Ogren said was nothing. You say, so you could say, it's good to see you. Anders and Mihari both then say, yeah, I don't believe that. And Ogren says, all right, let's go kill stuff. And that's it. No, so, in other words, Ogren says, and to respond to you, nothing. I'm sorry for being so irritable about this, but again, I've never gotten over that very first time I played through Awakening, and was just smacked in the face by how much this is not Ogren. We all get pissed off about Anders in Dragon Age 2, but they already repeated that, or they already pulled that trick right here. Anyways. What was I doing? Varric. I just want to say this before I forget. Did you know that Varric was originally not intended to be an awesome character? Now, that may sound like a strange statement, but anybody who's ever studied fiction on any level knows that every now and again, characters just kind of accidentally into being awesome because of either a combination of the actor, the direction, or like the writers changing their mind in midstream. Yeah, Varric was originally supposed to be a sleazy used car salesman, is a direct quote on that one. And then he's Varric.
Myri?
Roland! Commander, Roland was a knight recruited from Denerim like me. We must do something for him.
He looks beyond healing magic. Maybe a shot of whiskey for the pain?
I like the way you think.
Stop joking! This isn't funny.
That wasn't a joke, lady.
The commander?
At least, not from, Anders. You notice, by the way, to completely contrast the very one-dimensional, not funny joke character that Ogren is, Anders has already demonstrated at least some capacity for layers to him as a character. He, the healer, sees this situation and, with a sympathetic voice, says, I don't think we can heal him. Maybe a shot of whiskey for the pain? And he says it kind of as a question mark, because what else can you do at this point? Now, tell me what happened here.
We only had a moment's warning. Before they were on us, Commander. The Seneschal ordered a counterattack, but they came out of nowhere. This one with them. A darkspawn who talks. His magic is powerful.
A talking darkspawn? The lad must be delirious.
There's something in my blood. It hurts.
Hold yourself together, Roland.
It was an honor to meet you, Commander. I wish I could have fought at your side. Just once.
I will avenge you, Roland. I swear it.
By dying to a cup. What?
Cursed creatures!
This is the expansion, Mr. Floyd Princeton. Awakening. So yeah, while I obviously have some venom to spit at Awakening, which I am unapologetic about, let's be clear, there's some good stuff in this expansion. Wait until we get to actually being a ruler. Which is several people's favorite portion of the game. We'll see what we think of it in review. Yeah, they added stamina potions, new abilities. There's a respec, so that's cool. Yeah, they kind of retcon, but for the better, the Darkspawn, I would say. We'll learn more about them in general, too. Unfortunately, they kind of start off weak. This whole opening section really soiled me on Awakening, which is a damn shame because it really does get better from this point onwards. Which is exactly why I'm so harsh about intros and outros.
Let's get started.
Seriously, how many of you have played a game, not liked the intro, put it down, and never gone back? Or, bonus points, how many of you put down a game that had a bad intro, and eventually went back and liked the rest of the game? I've been in both of those categories. Yeah, Final Fantasy X-2, great example. Terrible intro. It's going to score extremely badly. I like that game. I think it does a lot of things right, and I think it's a lot of fun, but goddamn. Yeah, you'll notice also that it's also smacking us in the face with a lot of boring combat. Just a lot of Darkspawn fights. Just a whole bunch of Darkspawn fights.
It has ended, just as he foretold. Be taking this one gently. We are wishing no more death than is necessary.
Necessary? As if your kind has ever done anything else.
You are thinking you know of our kind, human? It is understandable, but that will soon be changed.
Others will come, creature. They will stop you.
There it is.
It seems your words be true. More than you are guessing.
It is talking.
Well, let's shut it up already.
Commander.
Capture the Grey Warden. These others, they may be killed.
Peasant creatures.
You really like killing, don't you? Weird that Darkspawn would be so into that, I guess. Whatever. Although, having said that, I actually kind of like how they portrayed the talking Darkspawn in this one. Because they all are clearly... I don't want to say they're undergoing droid effects so much as they're not there yet. They're not really at the level of what I would call sentient sapiens. They're still starting to understand things. But they haven't actually gotten to that level of understanding yet. Yeah, it's a good way to put it, Tar Hunters. They're kids. They're still starting to understand stuff. Which I could share an example of, but I'm not going to. Hang on, let me try to think of another example of that.
Let's get started. Here we go!
I also have too much health.
Let's make this quick, shall we? Let's get started.
Commander, I owe you my life.
By the way, F again.
Soldiers on the road. It seems we have more company. Hopefully they're more hospitable than our previous guests.
It's okay. It's Honora, who we're super chummy with all of a sudden. Or Alistair, who acts like we've never met before. God, that one pissed me off. I really like Alistair as a character, and he's just like, hey, welcome to Ferelden. Like, he doesn't say that, but it's one step away from it.
It seems we arrived too late to be of assistance. My apologies.
Queen Honora!
I had intended to provide the Wardens a formal welcome. This is unexpected, to say the least. What is the situation?
What Darkspawn remained have fled, Your Majesty. The Grey Wardens who had arrived from Orlais appear to be either dead or missing.
Missing? As in taken by the Darkspawn? Do these creatures take prisoners?
I do not know, Your Majesty. I know only that we cannot account for all the Wardens.
Unfortunate. At least the hero of Ferelden yet lives. That is something.
I'm fine, but this attack makes things difficult.
Since when have things ever been simple? You have quite the task ahead of you. I will offer what aid I can, but it seems you will be largely on your own.
Hey, what am I? Chopped nug livers?
From the smell, that's not a bad guess.
I came here to join the Grey Wardens, and from the looks of it, you could use the extra hands. Now where's the giant cup? I'll gargle and spit.
You're not allowed to spit.
That's what I always say.
I suppose all are welcome in this dire time.
Joining the Wardens, eh? Well, good luck with that.
Queen Lenore, your majesty, beware. This man is a dangerous criminal.
I beg your pardon?
She means me.
This is an apostate who we are in the process of bringing back to the Circle to face justice.
Oh, please. The things you people know about justice would fit into a thimble. I'll just escape again, anyhow.
Never. I will see you hanged for what you've done here, murderer.
Murderer? But those Templars were... Oh, what's the use? You won't believe me anyhow.
It seems there isn't much to say. Unless... you have something to add, Commander?
No, kill him. Then we could skip Dragon Age 2.
What? Never.
I believe the Grey Wardens still retain the right of conscription, no? I will allow it.
You don't have the right to deny it, lady.
Your majesty feels it is best.
Ha! Way to go, kid. Welcome aboard.
Me? A Grey Warden? I guess that will work.
Congratulations, Sir Mage. I look forward to fighting at your side.
Then if you have everything under control, I will need to take my leave.
I believe the estate has been secured, yes. We have suffered great losses, but the Darkspawn are gone, and there are survivors. Oh, excuse my manners. I am Veril, Seneschal of Vigil's Keep, and I am most grateful for your timely rescue, Commander. I will aid you in ruling the lands of Amaranthine.
So, couple things really quick here. First of all, I like the Seneschal too. He's cool. He's a little bit plot conveniency, but it doesn't bother me enough to give it a negative. He just kind of happens to know tons and tons of stuff that we have no way of knowing, and so he kind of serves as our exposition bot, which makes more sense if you consider, you know, we're the Orlesian Warden and don't really know how things work here, and blah, blah, blah. You get it. Second thing, I see what they did. They put Honora next to a worse voice actress, so Honora would sound better by contrast. Third thing, I hope you enjoyed Honora / Alistair there, because they're about to leave the game, like, entirely.
Come and speak to me soon. There are many matters to attend to, not the least of which is the joining. You will need to replenish your numbers.
The security of Ferelden relies on the Grey Wardens now, even weakened as the Order is. It will be up to you to deal with the vestiges of the Blight before the situation grows out of control. No easy task, but I am confident you are up to it. I shall leave you to it. Farewell, Warden. And good luck.
And that's functionally the last time we see her. She will be referenced in the third game. And that's kind of it.
Before we do anything else, Commander, there's an urgent matter we must take care of. Right now, I know of only one living Warden assigned to all of Ferelden. That should be rectified. The others could aid you considerably.
Now hold up. This is going to sound weird, because I've chewed on this problem a lot, both as a game designer and as a... It's my job in Valerian. One of my jobs. As a game designer and as a writer. So let me give something away. We're going to do the joining, and every single individual person we run through the joining, most of which we can do optionally, by the way, survives. Except for Myri, who, spoilers, is about to die. Now, I can't really quite put my finger on it, other than the fact that that's just a hell of a dice throw, right? Like, imagine, you're like, okay, you got, what is it, 6 people? 5 people, something like that, all together, and it's like, okay, everyone roll your dice, and pretty much all of them survive, and it's like, and again, I know that sounds strange, because it's not like I want the characters to die necessarily, but it almost feels like it cheapens the whole thing. And, well, that's kind of the other line on this. Remember, joining the Grey Wardens isn't exactly great. I know, we've got the current crisis to deal with, but keep in mind, and this is mentioned in some of the other games, Grey Wardens have a hell of a time with recruitment in the gaps in between blights. Probably because of the fact that they know they're signing up for something that's going to slowly destroy their lives over time that they can't walk away from in exchange for essentially nothing. And so these people joining the Grey Wardens is just kind of, and nobody really acts like it's the kind of big deal it probably should be. If nothing else, this probably should have been discussed, like, say, with Anders. Anders is someone who I could absolutely believe would join the Grey Wardens. It's his get out of jail free card. He's finally free of the circle and all the crap he's been fighting against for forever. So okay, Anders joining, perfect sense make. What about everyone else? Think about all the other characters who will be signing up for this job. And yeah, exactly, Henson. I mean, statistics are statistics. I understand how that works. It is possible to flip a coin 6 times and get heads 5 of them, or 9 of them, or whatever the actual number is. And yet, yeah, I could see Sigrun going with it too. I couldn't see Ogren doing this, to be completely honest, but I've already complained about him. It is possible to get that kind of a coin flip, but it feels weird, doesn't it? And again, this is the important part, it cheapens it. So regardless of how believable it is, and regardless of how much I agree or disagree with it, I feel it is to the detriment of the narrative that people can just take the joining. And we've got this initial joining, which is fine, but then we've got the future joinings, which are not only optional, but are just like, hey, go join, in order to get another extra, like, 2 lines of dialogue. Okay, cool. What? You know what to put that under. I'm going to put it under just writing. That's kind of a catch-all. But because this is actually like 5 or 6 different things all combining to be like, ugh. I have no idea, Evo. I just use the coin flip analogy because because I have got a coin right in front of me, which is funny because I got a dice over here too. But whatever. But before I give another negative, which I am going to do, this is going to sound very strange. I've thought about this considerably. And I think killing Myri here was a mistake. And I think it's a mistake worthy of a negative. We have a character with implication and backstory and potential, which is just killed off for essentially no reason other than tradition. Now, I know that sounds like it flies in the face of what I just said, but hear me out for a second. If you were willing to do this at all, you should have probably committed to it. One direction or the other. Everybody lives, or everybody can die. And frankly, killing Ogren would have actually worked out a lot better. I wouldn't be particularly happy about that, because I like Ogren. But honestly, Myri living probably would have been the better call. If you had to have one death, killing Ogren off would fit a lot better. It would suck for a lot of reasons, but whatever, right? And yeah, it would actually meant something. There would be some impact, especially from recurring players like us. We'd be like, oh my god, Ogren died from the joining. You know? I would have probably had an Ogren quest after his death, where we go talk to, I can't remember her name, his wife. No, not Bronca. And, you know, we find out that she is with child, and Oghren ran away, freaking the hell out over the whole thing. And he decided to join the Grey Wardens in order to go ahead. Like, that was his compromise. It's like, I'm going to go fight and make for a better world for my child to be raised in. Because that's what Oghren would do, by the way. And he died in the joining. Yeah, you get it, Mr. Red. He came here to do and to be, to make something of the new life that he was offered as a result of Origins. And now... I've thought about that before, Evo. In fact, I've thought about that many times, because it's one of the most common suggestions people give. A lot of people suggest that we should have a dice roll or a coin flip or whatever anytime someone joins, and that's your decision marker. And I've thought about this a whole lot. Here's how I would do that. That's a good idea, Colrin, but let me come back to that. Here's how I would do that. Imagine if you could save scum it. I know that sounds strange, but just bear with me for a second. But that is important. So you could save scum. It's not preceded. You can actually decide who lives and just reload if you don't like the result and try it again. And that little change by itself, I think, smooths over any of the problems that would have. Because if you're the kind of player who just wants to go with the dice, the kind of player who would do a hardcore run, or the kind of player who would do an Iron Man mode run, you live with it. You choose to live with it. Yeah, exactly, Andrew. It kind of becomes an exploit at that point. It's all on you. Do you allow them to die, or do you decide to go ahead and redo it? But Colgrim's idea is actually better, because Colgrim's idea just kind of removes the unnecessary padding there. Just make it a choice for the player. A little dialogue option pops up right at the bottom. Do they live, or do they die? Now, hang on. If we want to go full tilt with this, check this out. What if, when that choice pops up, there's a little percentage? And the first one that does it, if you choose them to live, it says 100%. But the second time you pick someone to live, it says 90. And the third time you pick someone to live, it says 80. Think about it. And it gets more and more likely that one of them's actually going to die. You could still save scum. I'm in favor of save scumming. It's a form of player choice. But once again, you, the player, have that option in both directions. I think that would have worked. I'm going to freely admit, I absolutely would be the player who would make sure everybody lives, because I want to see all the content. But I would love the idea of that being available if I wanted them to die. Or if I wanted to allow them to die. Might be a better way to put that. Anyways, let's begin the joining.
As you wish, Commander. The time has
Because I've studied game design for over a decade, Colgrim, and I've got a whole host of people giving ideas with me.
Join us, brothers and sisters. Join us in the shadows where we stand, vigilant. Join us as we carry the duty that cannot be forsworn. And should you perish, know that your sacrifice will not be forgotten, and that one day we shall join you.
He knows a lot about Grey Wardens. It's almost suspicious.
Forth, Oghren, you are a Grey Warden.
Also true, Spartan.
What's this, the sampler size? Are you trying to say something about my height? Huh?
Because he's a drunk. Get it? Get it? He's a drunk. He's a bad cook. Isn't it funny? Sorry.
Not bad.
Make her help us all. From this moment forth, Anders, you are a Grey Warden.
So we need to drink darkspawn blood? That's it?
That is it, yes.
Well, all right. But if I wake up 2 weeks from now on a ship bound for Ravane in nothing but my small clothes and a tattoo on my forehead, I'm blaming you.
I'm going to give a negative just for the Flanderization, but I honestly think Oghren is just a bad character in this expansion, regardless of the Flanderization.
He lives, Commander, and will awaken in time.
Okay, 2 successes. Perfect. Let's go and get our 3rd success and move
I
forwards.
have awaited this moment.
I can't wait to have a badass female tank who apparently is just drinking from the air. That's a little weird. And she's dead for no reason. Gotta keep tradition. Also, her animation is really bugged.
I am sorry, Myri. May the Maker watch over you now.
Should raise Constitution.
Poor Myri. Open the doors!
The commander must be informed about the Deep Road's entrance. It could be their base of operation.
You'd have the Wardens chase a rumor then, Captain. And even if it proves true, unless the Pilgrim's path is cleared by the time your army assembles, they'll have nothing to eat but shoe leather.
Giravel, Woolsey, the commander has had a long day.
I just watched a woman die.
Merchants escaped the Darkspawn. They can reprovision you for a reasonable fee. And the Vigil is yours. Take whatever weapons and armor you need. We'll be waiting when you're ready.
So, this is a good time. Damn it, Wandering Doll. I mean, she is unironically one of my favorite companions in Dragon Age 2, so that works. Oh. But yeah, that was the intro. It sucks. I don't think I've given a single positive for that intro. No, I've given 1, excuse me. It's just... Yeah, I'm going to give her death an extra negative, because it's such a nothing burger. Remember when Davith died? I even remember his name, and you know me. Remember when Davith died in Origins? That was a big deal. We had a whole thing, and everyone was reacting, and oh my god, what do we do? How do we deal with this? Oh no. And then Jory was like, oh my god, no, I've got to think. And here it's like, ugh. I'm sorry, Myri. Immediately, next scene. Doesn't even breathe. Doesn't even have a second's pause. Just bam, next scene. What? Sometimes people just die. You know, I've heard that argument for years to excuse bad writing, and I don't think I'll ever agree with it. No offense, Yura. It's just I've heard that since I was in school. TNG, you know the one. And I've heard that argument since I was a child. And every time I hear it, I think, well, yeah, but it's still a bad scene. It's still badly written, badly presented, and just kind of done badly. I've seen sometimes people just die done well. I have. That's not what we just saw. What we just saw is, oh, alright, she's dead. So I was thinking, taquitos? Anyone want taquitos tonight? You want tacos? Hang on, let me get my pen. Okay, here we go. Alright. Let's see, right? We're gonna have, you want a double large, extra cheese. Yeah, that's the other thing. Fiction is different than real life. I know. Shocking. But, oh god, Cyclops' death. No spoilers, but that's terrible. Yeah, I was thinking purple curtains in the main hall. You know, let's go with that route of it. Also true. And it's the final reason this intro sucks, is her dying cheapens the fact that we can, optionally, go ahead and have everybody else join, and they're all fine. Just... I really hope this is going to be a net positive expansion. I can't imagine it isn't. But god damn, that's not a good opening. That is 6 negatives to story in the intro. Yeah, no, Awakening has good stuff. I swear. I swear. Let me clean up a little bit. I never got to clean up after lunch. I don't like there being stuff here. Give me a minute, would you please? Here, I'll reset the game, because we should probably flush the RAM anyways. Good lord. So yeah, we don't do that, Spartan. I mean, I get your reasoning. But we have a long-standing tradition of counting expansions as part of their base game when it comes to score. There's actually a lot of reasons for that, not the least of which being that expansions don't always raise the score, right? It's the same thing it always is, right? It's more opportunities to succeed or fail. Plus, there's... Obviously, I have more basic philosophical reasons. Yeah, no kidding, Colton. For why I would do that. But if I'm being honest, there is one more objective, fundamental reason why I'd prefer not to score expansion separately. It would actually substantially increase the amount of paperwork. So...
What?
Nothing, apparently.
Mistress Woolsey says I can set up shop here.
Perfect.
The merchant you saved was grateful to be alive. Restocked me for a bargain. The savings are yours, of course. You need anything, Commander?
Commander. Oh, sorry. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I want Cousland Heraldry and Cousland Cross and a backpack. I want both backpacks. Give me my friggin' inventory space. That's good for now. Just do that. Although, actually, Silverite. Rune tracing, which requires expert rune crafting. Well, think about that. Hey, what's this? Oh my god, it's a bank! They added a bank! I know this sounds like such a minor thing, but god, I missed this so many times in the Origins game. And hey, you could just toss like all this stuff. I'll just get rid of all this stuff. Boop, boop, boop. Actually, I want all this back because I want to double check some things. But yeah, this is great. Oh god. Oh, whew. Okay, I feel good. Get rid of all this crap. Get rid of all that crap. Yeah, they added quality of life features. You notice I didn't give a single quality of life positive to Origins, and I stand by that. We will finally go ahead and start adding some for this. So we've got the bank, we've got the respec thing. I know there's more. I know that Soldier's Peak gives you a bank, and it's one of the most inconvenient banks in the entire universe, because you have to go all the way to Soldier's Peak to access the damn thing. Ugh. Oh, I know, Janthel. It's just... you know how it works, right? Negative because you didn't do it, positive because you did it. As the saying goes.
The Tower of Magi has sent me as an ambassador, Commander. In addition to my diplomatic function, I'm a competent enchanter and runesmith. Is there anything you need?
Enchantment?
Certainly.
Enchantment! Tell me you have... No, you've got tracings. But you do have Novice Silverite. That's not great. You do have the Battle Mage thing. Hang on, let's save really quick for no reason.
May I be of service?
Oh yeah, the unlocked tomes. Thank you for reminding me.
Sir.
Down. I have unlocked Battle Mage. Reload reality. Alright. Hey, Colgrim. I can level because I finally have Battle Mage, which is what I've been sitting on that for. I should mention, we're not going to be trying to min-max to make like the best possible thing. We're going to be doing the same thing we did in Origins. We're going to be playing normally, trying to do as much of the content as possible, and just kind of trying to do a normal playthrough. And we'll see how this goes. I don't know, Dragon Age Origins scored pretty high, Europe, but I'm curious too. And to be perfectly honest, I am also looking forward to playing Dragon Age 2, so we'll see. Alright, so... Battle Mage. Elemental Chaos, I believe, is what I'm going for. We cannot get that yet, though. In fact, we can't get any of that crap. Good God. Let's go and get the prerequisite ability. Yeah, Dragon Age 2 is going to front-load and back-load a lot of negatives. Intro and outro. That should be fun. I think I want attunement. Yes. Which of course I can't get. Cool. Let's go and grab that while we're here. I am strongly tempted to start driving for Monoclash and... You know, let's go for Crushing Prison. That's a good one to go for. Let's do that. Hang on. Let's pull out what did I pull? What did I grab? Let's get out of those. Let's grab Crushing Prison. Get a little bit more single target damage, yeah. And we'll do that. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of that, because that's... Oh my god, I just realized they screwed my bar up. Of course, there's Force Field, which... there are some very good uses for Force Field. Get rid of that, because we're not going to use it. And... that over there. Okay. Actually... I don't dislike Fenris, but I look forward to discussing that when we get there. I feel like in a review system, he'll probably be a plus-negative kind of a scenario, you know?
Should we get a move on?
So let's start this up.
Commander,
This is Sir Garavel, the new captain of the guard.
I have a matter to bring to your attention.
Okay. Hit me.
Potentially urgent. The Orlesians, Wardens, I mean, began gathering information while they were here.
Okay.
The most promising lead they found was a wild tale a couple of hunters told.
Okay, what did they claim?
These hunters, Colbert and, well, the other one, claim to have stumbled across an entrance to the deep roads. Darkspawn all over the place, they said. And this was before the fiends appeared throughout the whole Arling. The Wardens were just about to send someone to track down Colbert.
Okay, where's Colbert?
Colbert and his friend are in the city of Amaranthine. Probably amongst the refugees outside the city gate. Commander.
I mean, I will unabashedly admit that part of why I like Fenris is because he's voiced by Gideon Emery. I love Gideon Emery, I always have. But even I can very easily see why people don't like Fenris.
Warden Commander, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Mistress Wolsey, sent by order of the First Warden at Whitehart. I'm to act as treasurer of the Arling of Amaranthine. He believed local men could not be trusted for this post.
One of those local men is right here, Mistress Wolsey.
I have every confidence in the Vigil's loyalty in the matter of arms. But gold corrupts even the most resolute soul.
That's true. I'd kill you in a second for a nickel.
Not Whitehart itself. I'm from many places. I go where the Wardens command. Sir, the Arling is on the brink of economic collapse. Trade must flow. Merchant caravans are being systematically attacked somewhere along the Pilgrim's Path. It is the only route that can reliably provision an army, feed a city, and maintain civilization.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm new here. Which road is the Pilgrim's Path?
It is the road here from Denerim. You can see why it would be important. In the city of Amaranthine there is a trader, Mervis, whose caravans have been hit particularly hard. He may know where along the road the Darkspawn, or whatever they are striking.
Okay. Have you ever been to Weishaupt?
No. It is far to the north. The fortress is said to be impregnable. It still has the areas where the griffins of old would breed. But their like will never be seen again.
Yeah, by the way, that's how they fought dragons back in the day. They had griffins. Nowadays, we get a little bit more lucky. I'm sorry, why does the First Warden care about Amaranthine?
About the Arling? He does not. But about the implications? A great deal. When Warden Commander Dryden was cast out of Ferelden generations ago, it created a dangerous precedent. Her true story, and that of the Warden's exile, is one you yourself uncovered at Soldier's Peak, at great personal risk. We are now presented with another precedent. Wardens owning lands and commanding fealty from lesser nobles. If your Arling succeeds, it will be an example to other kingdoms that Wardens are important, blight or no.
And landing people like the Wardens is a good way to keep them functional, and also a good way to drag them down into corruption and muck, so that sucks.
Very well, Commander.
To business, then. Orlais sent a dozen Wardens to the Vigil to await your arrival. Nearly all died in the attack, but Kristoff is still in the field.
Where's Kristoff?
The Orlesian Wardens were uneasy that the Darkspawn weren't going to ground with the Blight ended. Kristoff was sent to track down some leads. A fortnight ago, he left in a bustle. As best we figure, he went to the city, Amaranthine.
Yeah, you notice that the moment we get out of the entry of the game, just the Awakening just starts taking off, right? I told you it gets better. Nobody believes me. Amaranthine isn't a small Arling. Where will I find him?
Only so many places travelers visit. I check the inns and taverns.
Did he reveal anything of what he found?
He did, but not to me. The Wardens keep their own counsel.
Right. I guess that's it. So you'll notice the format here, too. This is semi-similar to Origins itself, but in a different perspective. Rather than just having the map and having each of the major hubs you have to do to recruit, they give you 3 quests right off the bat, and these are the 3 go-tos. Vector quest is what these are called. And these give you your initial hooks. Then we walk outside with our only party members. Sorry, Myri.
Commander of the Grey. Right. A while back, they caught a thief in the Vigil. Took 4 Wardens to capture him. Gave one of the Wardens a black eye, he did. Half joking, they said he might make a good recruit.
Where is this thief now?
He's in the dungeon, sir. I also have some letters. Arrived just before you did.
Show them to me.
Just give me a moment.
So, these are also side quests, secondary quests. But yeah, what I was going to say is you walk out the door and immediately you have Nathaniel. So, pretty good lineup. I am Sir Edgar Bansley, faithful vassal. My daughter and sole heir has been kidnapped by Mosley the Snake's vile lot of miscreants. My fief is small, my means meager, and they have demanded 30 sovereigns in a time frame I cannot meet. I pray you intercede on my behalf. The ransom is to be delivered to the abandoned chantry by the forlorn cove. If you produce the ransom, I swear I will repay you in time. Ever since my husband passed, I've been looking after my family and the hired hands, but the Darkspawn are getting worse. We have a Templar who checks in occasionally, but there's limited what he can handle. Please, we'll tell Lord Edelbert you're a friend. I fear we may not have much time. Ooh. I should probably mention that several of these quests in Awakening have a fail state, which actually I think was a good move. Don't mistake me, ticking clocks can suck, especially when done badly, but being able to lose a quest kind of helps, I think, with the overall design of a quest. Now, Origins did that too, to be clear, but you get my point. Anyways.
I don't mean to alarm you, Commander, but it's possible there are still Darkspawn in the Vigil.
Okay, where?
Let me explain. You know Dworkin? That mad dwarf's bombs shook the whole keep. Some of the deep cellars caved in. I suspect that there are pockets of Darkspawn below, trapped. In time, they may dig their way out.
I'm pretty good at killing Darkspawn. I am not super good at digging.
We have men who can unearth the rubble at your command. Whenever you're ready, I can take you to the basement.
Not just yet. Sorry. Sorry. We'll come right back to that.
As you...
Ah, Commander. Good thing you're here. This one's been locked up 3 nights now. Good men died while this one was protected in his cell.
Who is he?
He won't give his name. All I know is he was caught poking around the estate in the middle of the night. I'd say he was just a thief. But it took 4 Grey Wardens to capture him. You best be careful. Whoever he is, he's no ordinary burglar, that's for sure.
Good thing to mention here, by the way. At first you might be tempted to think, aha, Nathaniel cares that you're the Warden. No, he doesn't. He cares that you are a Warden. If you've done this as an Orlesian, you know that the dialogue between Nathaniel and you is barely different. He still harbors the exact same grudge, the exact same vendetta, because of the death of his father, which happened at the hand of the Grey Warden, you know, the one from Origins, regardless of whether you were that person or not.
As you wish, Commander. I'll tell the Seneschal you came. He'll want to know what you decide to do with this man.
Oh yeah, speaking of which. Now, if you're a Kuzland...
On it.
If it isn't the great hero, conqueror of the blight and vanquisher of all evil. Aren't you supposed to be 10 feet tall with lightning bolts shooting out of your eyes?
I mean, the Darkstone probably think so.
Somehow I just thought that my father's murderer would be, more impressive. I am Nathaniel Howe. My family owned these lands until you showed up. Do you even remember my father?
Make her spit on you!
Wasn't Tern Loghain a traitor too? Yet he still lives. My father served the hero of Riverdane and fought against the Orlesians. Yet our family lost everything. I came here. I thought I was going to try to kill you, to lay a trap for you. But then I realized I just wanted to reclaim some of my family's things. It's all I have left.
How much do you know about your father?
If you're asking whether I knew what he was up to, the answer is no. I was squired in the Free Marches. Look, I know you're a hero. You fought a war and you won, and to the victor go the spoils, right? Whatever my father did, however, shouldn't harm my whole family. The Howes are pariahs now. Those of us left. It's all thanks to you. And now you get to decide my fate. Ha! Ironic, isn't it?
I am with him on that point. But I've made my opinion about the sins of the father concept a few brilliant times, so I don't have anything else to add to that. What will you do if I let you go?
If If you let me go... I don't know. I only came back to Ferelden a month ago. If you let me go, I'll probably come back here. You might not catch me next time.
You're not making a great case here.
I could lie, if you prefer.
No, that's fair. Tell you what. How do you feel about working to redeem your name?
You're right. I'll go join Queen Honora's service immediately. She'll certainly want another How around.
No. Let's move forward.
Already? Good.
I brought the seneschal for you, Commander.
I see you've spoken to our guest. Quite the handful, isn't he? Have you decided what's to be done with him?
Did you know this was Nathaniel Howe?
A Howe? It figures that they would turn up again. The Howes are implacable enemies, Commander.
I wish to invoke the right of getting him into my party.
You what?
I'm sorry, Commander. The right of conscription? On the prisoner?
No, absolutely not. Hang me first.
I mean, you apparently would prefer to die than join the Grey Wardens?
Hard to say. You like having Grey Wardens who want you dead?
I mean, some of my best friends have wanted me dead.
You really want a How as a Grey Warden? You are a very strange woman. I can't decide if this is a vote of confidence or punishment.
Yes.
An interesting decision, Commander. Come with me, sir. We'll see if you survive the joining.
Yeah, let me tell you about Zevran sometime, buddy. Or Logain.
From this moment forth, Nathaniel Howe, you are a Grey Warden.
The moment of truth.
As a small aside, I've always liked the fact that they're a Grey Warden before they drink. In other words, whether they live or die, they have committed to it. They're a Grey Warden. You know, honors, honorifics, blah, blah, blah. You get it.
Howe is stronger than I expected. For better or for worse, he will live.
And we're done. That was nice and cheap, wasn't it?
Commander, the Lords of Amaranthine have come to swear fealty to you and the Grey Wardens. These were Al Rendon Howe's vassals. Now they will be yours.
That's... We spent 10 minutes talking about that a bit ago, Ventures. It's a negative. In fact, it's 2 negatives. What do I need to know about them?
Some of these lords bore Rendon no love, but others had their prospects ruined with his demise. Tread carefully, Commander. Lords and ladies, I present the Warden Commander of Ferelden and Arl of Amaranthine.
Commander.
Our differences are many, but our cause is one.
Ban Esmerel of Amaranthine, as is old custom, you have the honor of beginning.
I promise that I, Ban Esmerel, will be faithful to the Arl in matters of life, limb, and earthly honor. Never will I bear arms against her or her heirs. So I say, in the sight of the Maker.
I promise that I, Lord Edelbreck...
And so, the ceremony is complete.
Long live the Warden Commander!
And we're done. Game just... Is it just me? There's just weird pacing, right? It's just, Okay, next scene. Okay, he's joined the party. Okay, and there's our nobility thing. I know it's hard to bring up because there's only so much additional stuff they could do with it. And Lord knows I, of all people, don't like my time being wasted. But the pacing just feels weird.
Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out. If you want the ceremony to end, I mean.
I may have just lost my internet, so we'll find out in a second.
Warden Commander, we've all heard so much about you. So many good things, unbelievable things. But many of your deeds cost people here a chance at great advancement. So many fortunes were deeply intertwined with the old Arl. Some nobles here, they seek to end your dominion over them.
Yeah.
Perhaps you do not know the full extent of their determination.
No, I do.
I've had occasion to intercept some of their missives. They are cryptic things. Any individual message is unintelligible, but together they form a pattern. They mean to end you before you can begin. A deadly coalition.
That's true, Nothrius. May I see these messages, please?
Given a few days, I can retrieve the messages. I would have brought them tonight, but I didn't know if warning you would be wise. I've much to lose and precious little to gain. Farewell. We will meet again soon.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Hey, it's Lord Guy.
It's an honor to have you as our liege, Commander.
I know, Guy is actually a pretty traditional name. It's just funny to me. Give me this, okay? Allow me to have my own little stupid humor.
Honored to meet you, Warden Commander. You come to us during desperate times.
Not more about your precious farms, Edelbrecht.
Some in our Arling do not have the comfort of city walls. On the plains, the situation is dire.
Yes, he speaks Beaver. I had some people upset about me that I pulled that out of RFF2. What's the problem?
As we feast, the peasants on our lands are starving, or worse.
The city's defenses are more important, Edelbrecht.
There may be wheat in the silos now, but if the farmers die, where will you get your food?
I'm going to be honest, I doubt your pleas are entirely altruistic.
Edelbrecht can't defend his own lands, so he asks the commander to save him.
I admit my lands are ravaged and fortunes diminished, but it's my grain that fills Amaranthine's belly.
Alright. I will take this under advisement, thank you.
Thank you, my liege.
No, it would, Random. Like, if Guy spoke Beaver, it would be such a jarring thing in RFF2. You've read the script. I mean, you voiced one of the major characters. That's... Spoilers, for those of you who haven't read RFF2, it's a dark script.
I'm here to serve, Commander.
Resupply?
I will do what can be done, but you would be wise to keep alert for trading possibilities in your journeys. If you can persuade any merchants to trade here, it would benefit the Vigil considerably.
Okay, thank you.
Very well, Commander.
Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out. If you want the ceremony to end, I mean.
Why are we not defending the farmlands?
Edelbrecht speaks truly, sir, but things are dire. He and Ban Esmeralda both contest the deployment of soldiers. But we don't have enough men. It's a matter of what you want to protect. The city, the land, trade.
I mean, all of those are bad options, really. Do you spread yourself thin? Or do you cut yourself out at one lifeline or another? If you don't have the farms, you starve. If you don't have the trade, you starve. If you don't have the city, then you're dead, because that's the thing you're trying to keep alive. And if you spread... All of these suck. We're going to spread.
As you wish.
We'll see how that works out.
Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out.
What about the conspiracy?
Do you know the conspirators? The right of high justice is yours, and treachery is a capital offense.
No.
She's a sly one, Sir Tamra, but knowledgeable about such things. Better to be a touch paranoid than turning up face down in a ditch. To proceed, we'd need strong proof, and that'll be hard to gather. There are options, some I would not recommend. They could turn the nobles fierce.
Alright, what do we got?
We could have some soldiers try to spy on the nobility. I suppose that might bear fruit. There are also rumors of someone called the Dark Wolf, who finds information for a fee. Dangerous fellow, by all accounts.
How do I reach the Dark Wolf?
No idea, honestly. Somewhere in the foreign quarter of Amaranthine is all I know.
Cool. I'll do that.
You need to head to the city then, and chase down a ghost. Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out.
The ceremony's gone on long enough.
As you wish, Commander. Clear the hall. The Commander has business to attend to.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Come on, get.
Yes.
Yes. let's get Nathaniel some, you know, gear. Hey, Nathaniel. Put on some clothing. Like, just, oh God, anything, honestly. No boots, apparently. No, we'll give you some boots. I mean, there kind of is the beginnings of the war table here. It's just better done here. However, let me go ahead and give away something that I find... I don't know if it's negative worthy, but it's something that kind of bothers me about Awakening. It's really easy to barrel ahead in the timeline of Awakening completely by accident, just by going back into that hall, which advances time by a step. To use a comparison, how many of you have ever played Neverwinter Nights 2? In fact, I imagine this was inspired by the exact same mechanic. In Neverwinter Nights 2, every time you go out into the courtyard and then back in your castle, time moves forward a step. And in some cases you want to do that on purpose, and in some cases you super do not. So knowing that, I can be a little more strategic about it. But first time I played this, I was just like, oh man, stuff just keeps happening and happening and happening. Oh, I failed all these quests because I never left town. I never actually left the frickin' keep. And I was like, whoops. Anyways.
You have time to talk about the Darkspawn in the Vigil.
Let's do it. 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 Let's go. 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 Why aren't we going? Turn off your armored cores.
Here we are. The Vigil goes deep. Real deep. The hallways down here have been crumbling for years and decades. And that blasted Dworkin's explosives didn't do the structure any favors.
Agreed, Ziad. Speaking of which, I'm going to put that down under gameplay while we're here. Keep mechanics. Not a lot of games do those, but I tend to enjoy them when they're there. Alright. Clear the rubble. Let's do it.
You heard the commander. Put your backs into it. This is where you come in. Who knows what's up ahead? We'll be back here.
The best keep... that's, you know, I've asked myself that question many times, Ventures, because...
The whole quiet and stoic thing must get you a lot of action, huh?
I take it you're an admirer, Ogren.
What? No! No. Well, not unless... No!
Good. Then I needn't worry about getting too drunk at camp.
Okay, I like you, just not in that way.
Also true, every time I actually sit and think about the keep mechanics in, video gaming, I find myself reminded of the fact that most of them are very threadbare, and I don't want to say they suck, they're just not much there. Aw, poor pup. It's got a scroll.
Dryer. She was like a mother to me. We must save her.
Well, then let's do it. How do we do it? What do I want to do? Oh, right. As absolutely pathetic as it may sound, one of the ones that I tend to remember most fondly is Breath of Fire 2. And, for the exact same reason, Breath of Fire 3. Obviously, the Suikoden's games do that. Neverwinter Nights 2 has its own thing. But having said all that, no, it's probably Pathfinder Kingmaker. I mean, it better be. It's a huge portion of the game. I should be getting money. I'm going to need a lot of it. Yeah, I haven't seen the VTMB2 trailer yet. I'm not even sure what I think of that.
This should be easy enough.
Apparently Roth also has keep mechanics, which are definitely going to be a net positive to everything. I look forward to giving many, many positives to keep mechanics in Wrath of the Righteous.
That went well, thankfully.
Also, if I'm being honest, even Pathfinder Kingmaker has some issues with it.
On it.
It's a weird combination of simultaneously too much and too little. I would still call it a net positive. I would still call it probably the best implement. It's weird. Look at this. I'm actually looting. What's wrong with me? I've heard good stuff about Sea of Stars, which is why I backed it. That and it didn't look like a sketchy backing, like some backer things are. Where's Ogren? What do you got on right now? Legion! Yeah, that tracks. Okay. Have you considered not being a ghoul? Let's rethink our situation here. Slightly. This one. Look, Jesse's mask. A game I supported that never came out. There is currently, as of this point in time, a game that has not come out that I did, in fact, support.
On it.
I can't even think of the name of it. It's been so long. Oh, God, what is the name of that stupid game? Here, be free.
Oh, thank the Maker. Please, let us out.
Then do it. Go.
Quick, before more of those things come.
Get out of here. Listen, it's not my fault Anders' robe sucks, okay? What is the name of that game? I guess I gotta look it up. Hang on. Quest 65. I think it is Unsung Story. Yeah, let me see. Let me double check here. Yep, it is in fact Unsung Story. Hazelnut Bastille is its own thing. Wrath of the Righteous, which I backed. Sea of Stars, which just came out. The books, which are behind me here somewhere. Aedan Chronicles, which I think isn't out yet, but is coming out. Mina the Hollower, which is still coming. And Fool's Blade, which is a card game you've probably never heard of. But Unsung Story is still just sitting there. And yes, I actually was a backer of Undertale and the terrible Mega Man clone. Can't think of the name of.
No, Adria. We have to help her. There must be some way. Adria.
That's the one. Mighty number 9.
Something drawing near.
Oh, get over here!
I think there's actually a couple other things I backed, but that was on a different account. And I don't even know the login for that account anymore. So. I streamed Mighty number 9. It sucked. Like, you ever heard that line where, you know, it's good enough or whatever? No. That game sucked. don't even have a second ring. So, Nathaniel, how you doing?
It's a little dark, isn't it?
Cool. Yes, Mighty Number 9 predates Anthem. Yeah, I don't want to sound negative, but, like, Mega Man style games aren't easy to do. I don't want to sound like I'm saying that, because they're turbo not. But it's a formula that's been going on for a very long time. We know the formula for a good Mega Man game. Many other Mega Man games have come out since the Mega Man series kind of stopped. And quite a few of them have succeeded. Mighty Number 9 was just... not.
You couldn't pay me enough to be a warden, charging off into dark basements like that. Ooh.
How about 5 silver? Did we not finish? Hang on. Exactly, Nithrius. Do I have to click the rocks? Okay, whatever. But yeah, like, again, making a good Mega Man game is hard, but it's doable. I guess that's my overall point. And yeah, I tend to feel the same way, Yura. Maybe, you know what? I know I'm biased, because I analyze games for a living, right? I've done it for over a decade. I know the formulas and styles and good and bad gameplay. I know quality of life. I know programming and design and encounter and enemies and all sorts of other fun things, all the little nitty-gritties and interlocking systems that go into video gaming.
Darkspawn there. Well, you hear the stories about you and the Wardens, but to see it firsthand.
Like, I know that sounds bragging, but what I'm trying to say is, how many game developers do you know who have spent over a decade just analyzing game design?
Well, I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Anyway, it looks like the explosives caved this section in. I brought along Master Voldrick.
So, this is how you humans ply your stonecraft. Disgraceful, that is. What, this would barely last a few centuries. I wager these passages may go far enough to connect to the deep roads.
So, does this stop them if they return?
This? Hardly. Give me a few dwarves and we could have her cleared in a week. This is a grave matter. If we don't shut these tunnels, the Darkspawn can attack from below again.
Andraste's blood. There are basement entrances throughout the keep. There's no way to defend against that.
Then we follow the tunnels and hope to find a single point to block off. Never you fear, lass. With the Warden's muscle and my stonecraft, we'll find a way.
Probably, Nithrius. And let's not forget how many people tend to forget how important QA is. Which always bonkers me. It's like forgetting how important a plumber is to a house. It's like, I get why you forget about it, but you're still a moron forgetting about it, you know? Let me know when you clear the passage.
We'll need some time, but as soon as we clear it, we'll let you know.
Yep.
Of course.
The top side. Oh yeah, gotta underfund the QA because... I don't know, because they're stupid?
On it.
Look at that! Was Andraste really that much of a looker?
No, she was a
Don't you
dragon.
think she would have been, I don't know, a barbarian? Sure, but Andraste was a real person once. Before she up and married the Maker, I mean. What would she have thought of the Circle of Magi? Forcing mages to fight demons, or be made tranquil?
That's a good question. She'd probably be confused as hell by the whole thing.
No doubt you're right. Seems to me that Andraste counseled men to seek their own path to the Maker, but the Chantry uses her words as a reason to collar us just for being who we are.
I completely agree with everything you say, Anders, and this will never bite me in the ass.
Says the fellow mage. Oh well, she's still quite a looker for a prophet. I'm just saying.
Come all this way. It's cold here. Very cold.
It's not that cold. The Wardens have been some of our best customers, and they need us.
I miss my shop. This place is so drab, it offends my sensibilities.
Andraste, preserve me. Ah, Warden Commander. I represent Master Wade, the finest...
And bloody coldest. I can't feel my fingers.
finest armorer in Denerim. we thought that you might have need of an armorer.
Right. Master Wade, right?
My one glittering moment. The highlight of my career. And now I'm stuck at Turnip Keep.
Vigil's Keep. Vigil! Sorry, Warden Commander. You know how he gets.
Right. So what brings you here?
This is a temporary relocation. The Darkspawn are most active around Amaranthine. We thought we could help.
And I suppose the money the Crown paid us had nothing to do with it?
Shh!
My men will need equipment.
Providing arms and armor for common soldiers. Oh, the indignity. If we are going to be so dreadfully plebeian, I don't suppose Amaranthine has any proper metal. Silverite? Viridium? Or are we back to bronze weapons? Stone clubs?
Wade has a point. He's happiest and fastest when presented with a challenge. If you come across any deposits of ore, let us know.
Okay.
Oh, of course.
What you got? Huh. A manual of focus, which allows me to respec. What a fascinating concept. Now, well, let's see here. Oh, there's the dragon bone armor. That's funny. Yeah, 6 gold per respec. That's a valid question, Dagoth Gilboth, but the answer is very, very simple. Because you paid me to. I stream what my supporters request me to stream. So we're streaming Dragon Age. If it makes you feel any better, this is the last time I'll ever play this game, and definitely the last time I'll stream it. This is unique, however. It's extraordinarily rare that we stream a game more than 2 times. This is this is the 3rd time we've ever streamed Dragon Age Origins, and like I said, will be the last. Aww. It's better than nothing. You know, everybody jokes about that Nemesis, but it hasn't happened yet. I don't think it's going to anytime soon.
You're back. You need anything?
Found some more.
Oh, this will help a great deal. Viridium.
Armor and weapons could be made with this.
Commander, if you like, we could outfit your men. It wouldn't cost you anything, but some soldiers would have to guard the miners.
Then do it.
So I'm to make armor for all Amaranthine's rabble? Heren, you abuse me so. It's unconscionable.
Commander's orders.
Fine, I'll work. But I want a challenge one day. Something to sink my teeth into.
I mean, I don't have free time now, Czar, so who knows. I will admit, though, it is a weird sensation to know that this is most likely the last time I'll play insert game here. Not exactly the first time I've had that sensation. I'll probably never replay the Mass Effects, for example.
Commander, so this is human construction, is it?
Uh-huh.
My brother said you'd need a stonemason, but he didn't know the half of it.
Welcome to the Vigil.
You're too kind. The Darkspawn did a number on this keep of yours, but I suspect it was crumbling well before they showed up. Your seneschal gave me some fancy decree promising men and monies to fix the Vigil, but it's a paltry sum. I suppose it would be sufficient to reconstruct the walls to human standards, but who'd want that?
What's it gonna cost?
I'm not certain of the character of the stone in these parts, but we'd need more men for certain. Proper skilled men, Not some starving dusters, right? Which all boils down to coin, really.
Yep, 80 sovereigns.
It will be, Warden. Good luck to anyone who tries to breach these walls. Ha!
Foreshadowing. The other reason... So, I already said the reason is everyone else paid for me to. But the other reason is we're reviewing the Dragon Age series. It's kind of hard to review the Dragon Age series without, you know, reviewing Dragon Age Origins. Now, it's funny you say that, because Morrowind is actually on the list for a review, because we've never reviewed Morrowind. And that's really the thing. So, let's say for a moment that you win the lottery tomorrow, Dagoth. Congratulations. Now, you say, Lore, I want to pay you to re-review Dragon Age Origins. I'm going to say, no. Because I already have. So, like, there's no point in that particular repetition. There's no additional stuff that can be done. It would just be doing another random playthrough of the stream. Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda definitely counts as a Mass Effect game, Papa Neeks. Wink! But Morrowind? We've never reviewed Morrowind. In fact, Morrowind, Skyrim, Fallout 3, and Fallout New Vegas are all part of the same block, the BRPG block. Final Fantasy 13. Actually, almost every FF game we have not reviewed, other than Final Fantasy Mystic Quest and Final Fantasy 14. Those are the only two we've reviewed. We have reviewed. So, let's see. We could go in and start a whole bunch of stuff, but no, let's go get some stuff done.
Let's get started.
Let's do this. Let's see. There's the Cove, there's the Estate, and there's the city, which we're staying the hell away from. Final Fantasy 11. Right. So here's the deal. FF11 isn't a absolutely no really kind of a stream. It's a you're going to win the lottery and then give me those millions of dollars to make me play it kind of a stream. It's a minor distinction, I'm not gonna lie. But it is a distinction. Because some games I'll just straight out say no to. So, like, I guess there's no Blight anymore, so I can't be mad about bandits being a thing. Yeah, the veto list exists for a reason. Technically, all MMOs that are not the ones currently... Jesus! Currently being funded are vetoed. Are you doing things correctly? You are. Alright, whatever. Yeah, no, exactly, Valerian. If I stream FF11, I am committing career suicide. That's why that's the lottery-winning territory. Because that would so destroy my channel and my ability to be solvent as a streamer that you would have to fund the rest of my life in order for me to actually be willing to accept that. Holy crap! Okay, we're just gonna rewind her because we just died. Christ.
This should be easy enough.
FF11 is a slow, boring slog that also takes forever, Evo. If you type !veto Croatia, you can see the list too.
Something drawing near. As you
Like, I'm not explaining it properly. I know I'm not. I want you to imagine that we spend 9 hours streaming, and during that 9 hours, we accomplish one quest. And that's it. During that entire time, we have nothing to talk about. Nothing really happens in the game other than walking and a bunch of trash encounters. That's FF11. Now, there's some good stuff in FF11, and it's doable now because of the, I forget what they call it, but the henchman system. But that's it. That's FF11. It is worse than Lotro, yes, absolutely.
This should be easy enough.
In both gameplay and in, well, padding. Why do people pay FF11? Well, 2 reasons. First of all, there is actually a pretty decent story behind FF11. Yes, Ross, someone did.
Thank you, kind sir. Take this pouch of coins in return. But now I'm off to Vigil's keep.
Peace, as they say. Oh, do they call them trusts? That's funny, because it's what they call them in FF14 as well. I mean, yes, that's exactly what I meant, Blade Cheval, because FF11 was in the pre-quests era of MMOs. So, that actually makes it worse, if you're paying attention. But anyways, yeah, FF11, the other reason I think people tend to like FF11, other than the story, is the fact that, let's see. How do I say this without sounding really insulting? So I want you to imagine, like, there's this giant pile of rotten, molten garbage, and you're shoving it down your throat as hard as you can. And you're like, oh, whoa, 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 and you just need a drink, any drink, because it's stuck in your throat. And so you see a pile of sewage water, and you're like, oh, thank God, glug, 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 and you guzzle it down, and that's FF11. Any questions? I'm being facetious, by the way. Thank you, Pancakes. You can always tell when I'm being facetious, because my tone's light and airy, and I say it like it's a joke. If I ever get down here, if my tone ever drops, and all smile and all levity fades, that's when I'm not joking. Anyways, thank you, Pancakes. I will put that towards Lords of Magic SE and Star Trek Resurgence. Appreciate. But no, for real, I do think FF11 is one of those fill time while doing something else kind of games. And again, that's kind of an insult, but I don't actually mean it as one, as I've talked about before. You pull up Netflix on the side, or YouTube, or your favorite streamer, and you just kind of idly run around, fighting mobs, doing dungeons, walking across town.
Come now, defend yourself.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure, let me walk that back. I'm not sure at all. I'm actually less familiar with FF11's large-scale, that's a ogre. That's an ogre. Large-scale community as I am a lot of other MMOs. I have obviously played FF11, and, you know, duh. But it is my presumption that it's the same crowd that tends to be into things like EverQuest or WoW Vanilla or any of the other games where the gameplay isn't really the focus of the game. Not really.
Time to die!
Is the story of FF11 good? Yeah, I'd say so. I would say that it doesn't get good until the first expansion, I'd say. First expansion. Sorry, that was a question. What do y'all think?
On it.
Oh yeah, tier 8 stuff now, by the way. Go and give those to you. How many MMOs have I played? 3 dozen? I might be lowballing it. Ow. That... Wow, that hurt.
Let's get started.
Okay.
Just be, or do you actually think you have a chance?
Well, that's an interesting question. How long was Mass Effect 1? Total. Because that's codified at this point. And we're dead. Yay. Cool. Yeah, no, archers are gonna just be an issue from now on, honestly.
This should be easy enough.
26 hours. Oh yeah, we're already over double Mass Effect 1. How long was Mass Effect 3? Because I remember that was just... ugh. Too long. Too long. Well, you probably know the answer to that, Evo. It's because I love co-op games. And honestly, back in the 90s and early aughts, online co-op games were not very common. Yes, Nithrius. In fact, I believe Minecraft is on the list.
As you wish.
What, for Dragon Age Origins? I do. We're going to do Amgarok after this, and then we're going to do Witch Hunt last.
Let's get started.
Last thing I want to do is the final boss fight of Amgarok with this low-leveled, under-geared character. With a badly optimized build.
Right.
Even on easy, that's just going to be a pain. I don't want to do the Darkspawn one. Tell you what, I'll do the Darkspawn one off camera. How's that sound?
As you wish.
No, I won't do that.
On it.
No, we'll do it. We'll do it. It's just, if anything's gonna drag the score of this game down, it's the frickin' Darkspawn Chronicles. It should be a quick, fun what if adventure. It isn't. And the final boss fight sucks. While we're on the subject. I think this game is too long. No. And I do think this game has padding. So, okay. Technically, yes, that means I do think this game is too long. But normally when I hear the phrase, is this game too long? I hear more like, should this game be cut in half or something like that? And no, I think this game is a decent length for what it is. It just could use some pruning. I can grab that while we're here. Wait, no, that's me. I probably should do that. That's true, the game doesn't let us kill Honora. Hard to argue. Truthfully, Ross, I'm not sure. I mean, okay, Dragon Age 2 is probably going to be shorter, especially since Dragon Age 2 has 2 relatively short DLCs, as opposed to, like, 5, which is what this one has. But... Hi, Sean. Yeah, Dragon Age 2 definitely feels shorter. That's why I hesitated on that. It'll be interesting to see if it actually is or not. Inquisition might be longer. God damn it, did I not pay the cunning tax? I did not pay the cunning tax. Yeah, day 15. So we're still in the hinterlands. That's barely a joke. Oh, so it's extremely long then, Eva? I guess I'm done here. Huh. Like I said, so you're saying it's a really long game, Evo. Listen, I'm not saying you're extremely wrong, Evo. But... Oh, hey, it's Liliana's DLC. No, I'm not saying anything like that, Evo. Even
Another step and poor Lady Eileen dies. Where's Lord Bensley? The deal was he'd give us the money himself.
Lord Bensley sent the commander of the Grey instead.
That's the one who killed the archdemon. Andraste, preserve me.
Shut your trap! We still have the girl.
There's a river of blood behind me. You can touch her if you dare.
Hold! Bloody hold! Kill the Warden! Now!
Now, in case you missed that, that guy willingly jumped off of a cliff rather than fight us. And, let's be clear, that was the correct choice. These people are about to feel much worse things than that, with much lower chance of survival.
Let's get started. On it.
Oh, get over here!
It's probably my favorite intimidate check in the entire game, by the way.
Never a dull moment!
This should be easy enough.
The Maker, thank you. I thought I was going to die in there.
You're welcome. Yeah, he might survive that jump. He will not survive me. If nothing else, I have time state powers. Yeah, then there was this weird flaming tornado. I don't even know what that was all about. Let's go and hit the city.
Ah, it's the Warden Commander. The rumors about you did not overstate it. I have a business proposal. Look for me by the house near the gates. I promise it will be worthwhile.
Well, that's not extremely suspicious or anything. I mean, that's true, Lord Haremont, but the reason I bring it up is because, let's be honest, the real reason I'm so successful is because I have time state powers. I do, you know. 3 in a corner. 3 in a corner. Oh yeah, How is definitely a racist jackass. Specious?
They used to display the heads of traitors over that gate. I suppose my father is lucky his didn't end up there.
Looking for some company, honey pie? I'm always available for riveting conversations with fine women.
Are you the hunter who found the entrance to the deep roads?
Oh, here to investigate the chasm, are you? It's about time. I can't take all the credit for finding the rift, you know. Mika here fell in first.
Okay, what happened?
Well, it's quite a ways out of town. We were tracking a buck off in that direction, you see, before this darkspawn mess. We'd been on his tail for about a week at that point. I'd wager he thought it was great fun leading us on a merry chase as he did.
Uh-huh.
That buck was a sly one, he was. He had big feet and a... Oh, the chasm, yes. We saw it coming over a rise. It was really something to behold. A huge cleft, as though the Maker himself had cracked the earth in two, like an egg.
I like eggs.
It looked like someone had tried to build over it, but it must have been abandoned a long time ago. No one in town knew about it.
What happened then?
Well, of course, we had to investigate. That was when Mika fell in. A shriek like you wouldn't believe, and he was gone.
Earth crumbled, not stable.
Right. And as Mika lay there yelling about his knee or his head or what have you, the darkspawn appeared.
It looks like you survived.
We got lucky. They seemed occupied, like they had someplace really important they had to be. Didn't notice us at all, thank the Maker.
The Darkspawn was so occupied as to overlook 2 screaming injured men. Boggles the mind.
I marked the chasm on my map so we could avoid it, but sounds like you want to know where it is, so here you go. So, we getting anything for our trouble?
Yes, have a sovereign.
A whole sovereign. If there's ever a reason to fall into a darkspawn pit, here it is. Maker bless you.
Yeah, now we have the Elven Sandal. There it is.
This should be easy enough.
Ah, can you smell that? That is the smell of freedom. It comes complete with the smell of dogs and dust. But the freedom is in there too.
You really don't like the circle, do you?
I escaped from the tower 7 times. After the last time, they put me in solitary confinement for a year. Eventually...
That's actual torture.
I'm sure they would have branded me a Maleficar, true or not, and executed me.
Like, that's legitimately just torture.
They're not murderers. They only kill mages when they can prove we're dangerous, for the good of all. The problem is that mages are tolerated, barely. It's like you need permission to be alive. There's nothing a mage can do to prove himself. Everyone needs to be protected from you. The end.
Yeah.
But Winter Imperium has a better way. But we know how that argument flies around here. All I want is a pretty girl, a decent meal, and the right to shoot lightning at fools.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm betrothed to Liliana, so... There's this thing called responsibility.
Does it also come with suspicion, condemnation, and the loss of all personal freedom? Never mind me. Now and again I recall that I'm not sitting in a cell and I have to smile, that's all.
Anders disapproves. Well, just for that, we're not getting you a cat. Let's go talk to this shady character.
So,
what's his name?
Mage, huh?
Shady character.
What's it like?
To have all this power at my fingertips.
No, to always have to wear a skirt. Yeah.
Oh, you don't know the story behind the robes. You know how strict things are in the Circle, right? Well, of course you do. Well, the robes make quick trysts in the corner easy. No laces or buttons, you're just... well, you're done before the Templars catch on.
Really?
Just ask anyone.
I don't know. Nobody likes Sir Pounce a lot. After all, he's not in the next game.
Ah, Warden Commander. I knew you'd come. You know an opportunity when it presents itself, no? I offer a partnership that would benefit us both.
Okay.
The bartender at a local inn has overstepped his bounds. He was hired to watch one of the entrances to our den, but now seeks to extort more coin. Terrible, isn't it? A person of your influence would have no trouble convincing him to open the passage.
You realize who I am, right?
Ah. I see. May I ask that you say nothing of our meeting? Good day, Warden Commander.
Okay. I don't know. What's it worth to you, Eva? Don't. Swear to God.
Why won't you let us in?
My pardon, sir. I was paid a whole sovereign to give this letter to you.
That's...
I told him I did.
a lot.
There are easier ways of getting a message to the Commander of the Grey.
Who gave this to you?
Some visiting knight didn't catch his face. Full helmet, you know. He said he was Sir Wolf of Ravain.
Right. Anything else?
No, sir. Again, my pardon.
It's the constable's orders. There's no place for you in the city.
Well, they don't look infected. And he has children.
Look, we let some in, we'll have the rest scratching at our eyes. No exceptions.
Make us spit on you, you heartless bastard.
Excuse me, but I need to search your packs for smuggled goods.
I'm sorry, what?
But I have to. Constable's orders. We've been having trouble with smugglers and...
What are you doing, man? Are you accusing the Commander of the Grey of smuggling?
But you said everyone...
You are dismissed. I apologize. Smugglers and thieves have all but taken over the city.
Really? Anything I can do?
We could certainly use your help in this. Come speak to me later if you're interested. Ah, Warden Commander. I take it you've decided to help us.
Yeah. So what exactly is happening here?
With trade slowed to a crawl, smugglers have moved in, selling stolen goods at exorbitant prices. If we could shut down their operation and seize their supplies, we could distribute it to the needy.
How do I find him?
There is a smuggler doing business in the market. He probably knows where the hideout is. We haven't been able to get anything from him, but maybe you can.
Excuse me, are you a suspicious character?
Greetings, could I interest you in... Wait a minute. My lad said they saw you talking to the... You'll learn not to stick your nose where it don't belong.
I said...
Oh no. It's a bunch of hired goons.
I once knew someone who bought a piece of unlost Shimba in the Amaranth
It's so weird not having that option.
Stand back. I can handle this. As you wish.
I'm done with you. Your wish is my command.
This should be easy enough.
I know, right? That's it. Would you like to... Wait, you... Oh, you... Ah! Suicide by Warden. I mean, think about how many people have died in the last year to me, and yeah, that tracks.
Warden Commander! Thank the Maker you're finally here. I was afraid our messages never got through to you.
You're nervous?
Yes. Thank you for coming to the Guild. We need your help. Our caravans are being attacked. The wagons are burnt to ashes, and there have been no survivors. It's gotten worse lately. People from the neighboring villages have found guards torn limb from limb.
That's Simon Templeman.
Village square.
That's Simon Templeman. So I take it you suspect Darkspawn.
We don't know for sure. Communication has been difficult with the attacks, but people in the area said they saw monsters lurking in the shadows. Whatever it is, it's completely crippled trade between Amaranthine and Denerim. No one wants to travel the road through the Wending Wood. Can the Grey Wardens help at all?
Yeah, I got you back.
Oh, Maker, bless you and watch over you. If you can stop the killings, the Merchants Guild will make a hefty donation to your organization. You have my promise.
You don't have to pay me to do my job, but thanks. Which I suppose sounds strange, because that's the definition of a job, but you know what? I stand by it.
Greetings, Warden Commander. You're the sort who delights in helping the common man, yes? May I direct you to the Merchants Guild?
This is Cam Clark.
Folk here often need goods from far-flung parts. They post the requests here. There is good coin in this, particularly with trade halted by the trouble on the roads. If you ever feel inclined, please take a look at the jobs available.
Down to 71 gold. That's not good. Let's make some money really quick. Sorry, Duncan Sword. I need cash. Yeah, Duncan was pragmatic. He understands. Look, it's either sell it or throw it on the street. I mean, my hands are tied.
Enemies approaching.
Yeah, Lord Haremont. 240 something.
On your guard.
Which is not only higher than Baldur's Gate 3, it's high in general. That would be like the third highest RPG we've ever reviewed, if that was the end of the story, which of course it is not. That's true. Alistair, as he wanders off to go be drunk, could be like, haha, at least I have something to remember my real family. And then he just whinge and whinge. He'd be like, wine, 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 wine.
Oh, wild animal.
You think you're so clever, don't you? Sparkle fingers.
Did you save your banter for, like, later, when I'm not being attacked by a bunch of things trying to kill me?
You had it coming.
I did play Javal, and I'm very upset about that fact, but it's still a fact. Would you stop running so I could kill you already? God dang. All you're doing is dying tired. nerve of this guy.
Right. You're sloppy.
Won't be defeated easily.
Wait, come back! Oh my god. This guy, I swear. This guy and his marvelous pathfinding.
Good for nothing, Lackwitz. You let me be followed. Get rid of this fool.
This should be easy enough.
I vaguely am amused by the idea that a bunch of low-tier, know-nothing smugglers are like, alright, let's kill the local noble lord. That way we can keep smuggling stuff. Yeah! Not that I'm saying they wouldn't do that, it's just amusing to me. Dude, stop running. Oh yeah, we also killed the Archdemon, although we might just be some rando from Orlais. You gotta keep that in mind. Got wanted. Hired goons. Willing to be stupid.
Any luck with the smugglers?
Yeah, there's an abandoned house.
That house has been locked up for years. To think that all this time it's been hiding the entrance. There will surely be someone on guard. Where there's a guard, there's a key.
Okay, I'll deal with it.
If you can find a way into the hideout, the smugglers won't have a chance. Good luck, Commander.
Thanks. Now, normally I'd go do this right now, but unfortunately I've just been informed that dinner is ready. So we're going to go ahead and chop off for the day. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we might finish Awakening. It's not a particularly long expansion. I'll see you there.